Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this week's topic is something I am super excited about because I don't know about you guys, but I love hearing about Disney myths and I especially love debunking them, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you guys 10 Disney myths and basically just explain them a little bit. So let's talk Disney. There are plenty of myths out there about Disney, Disney World, Disneyland, just everything Disney, and I decided to narrow it down just to 10 because there are so many. So these are basically the 10 most popular, and the first two are just specifically, in my opinion, what I hear a lot of, and I just like to kind of debunk what people say. So the first myth that I hear a lot is that Disney is just for kids, that there are no thrill rides at Disney. Disney is not fun unless you are a child or have children. And that is absolutely false. There are so many adults that go to Disney and probably have more fun than kids. Because I feel like when you're older, you can appreciate more that Disney has to offer. And for example, character meet and greets. I always used to do character meet and greets, but I never really got into them until I was older. So I find it more fun now than I even did when I was a kid. So definitely that is not true, and there are tons of thrill rides. I mean, think about Tower of Terror. Although I've seen many 4-year-olds go on it, I don't really think that's who they had in mind when they were building it. So definitely a myth. Disney is fun for all ages. Myth number 2 is that once you take your kid there once, that's good enough. Nothing about Disney is going to change. You know, once your kid's been there once, they've seen it all. And although there are probably certain people who don't really care for Disney and might not want to go back, that is definitely not true because Disney's always changing. Look at Hollywood Studios right now. It's going through so many drastic changes, and just everything about the park changes. Nothing ever stays the same. And I don't know how long people plan on staying. Usually people stay for a week, and even staying for a week, it's hard to complete everything that you want to do. So I would say that that is a complete myth. Alright, so now into some of the more popular myths that people talk about. So the third myth I'm going to go into is that Walt Disney's head is frozen. Now that is not true. There are papers that state that he was cremated, so no, that is not true. His head is not frozen and stored away. However, if you think about how cool that would be if they could like freeze all of him and then like bring him back to life. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I used to get that question asked in elementary school about like, oh, if you could meet a famous person, who would you want to meet? Mine was always Walt Disney. So if I could like bring him back and meet him, that would be awesome. But unfortunately, he is cremated, so no, his head is not frozen. Myth number 4 is one that I actually heard very recently for the first time, which is that nobody is ever pronounced dead at Disney. That if something were to happen, they would take them off the property to officially pronounce them dead. Now this was also proven as a myth. There have been people declared dead at Disney. It's not something that they actually take you off property to pronounce you dead, so that is a myth. Myth number 5 is that in the ride The Haunted Mansion, Walt Disney is actually portrayed in one of the busts that is broken and singing. So you know how they have the busts that are all singing, and then there's the one with its head knocked off. And people believe that that is Walt Disney. Although it looks a lot like Walt Disney, it has been proven that, in fact, it is not voiced over by Walt Disney. Although it might portray him, it really is not Walt Disney in any way, shape, or form. Myth number 6. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys are huge Toy Story fans like myself, but I know that I was super excited the first time I heard this because I thought it was kind of cool that apparently if you would walk up to Jessie and Buzz and Woody and all of them and scream, "Andy's coming," they would all drop to the floor. Now, Although this might have been true in the past, it no longer is true because of safety reasons. They are no longer allowed to do that. So if you scream Andy's coming, absolutely nothing will happen. Myth number 7. Now this one was the most devastating to me because I don't know how many of you guys have heard the quote, "If you can dream it, you can do it." It is definitely one of my favorite quotes, and of course everybody says that it is, you know, Walt Disney's quote. Well, unfortunately it is not. It was actually created by an Imagineer named Tom Fitzgerald for the Horizons attraction in memory of Walt Disney after his death. He created that quote, so although we may associate it with Walt Disney, it in fact is not his quote at all. 8 is something that shocked me, and I've never heard this before, and I'm not sure how many people actually do believe this, but basically people believe that there is a dome over Disney World, and cast members have stated that people actually come up to them and ask them about the dome over Disney, so I guess they think it's actually enclosed, but there's not much to that myth. I just thought it was very interesting that people believed that. Myth number 9 kind of goes along with just people who are kind of ignorant about Disney, I guess you could say. This one is that you can get on any ride at any time and not have to wait at all. Anyone who's been to Disney knows that that is absolutely not true. With wait times of like 70 minutes to 110 minutes, you might only get a few rides in before lunchtime. And the fact that people think you can just ride after ride after ride, it's really a bad mindset to get into, because once you get there, you're standing in lines for most of your visit. You're actually probably going to be very upset that you didn't realize that you can't just keep getting on rides constantly. You do have to wait in lines. And number 10 is also one that I just heard of today. I didn't even know it was a thing. And it's that people believe that the girl who sings Wishes was actually a Make-A-Wish Foundation patient that asked if she could sing it and then later died, and some believe that she is still alive. However, that's actually not true at all. Wishes is done by a professional voice actress and a young girl, and she was not a part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I guess some people just believe that they pushed that rumor to keep the charity going. I'm not really sure exactly what it was, but that is false. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. It was a lot of fun. So maybe I, in the future, could do like a fact or fiction video where we could talk about some Disney topics and see whether if you guys can figure out if they're real or fake. Because I know some of those probably would surprise people. So definitely, maybe I'll do that in the future. So if you guys did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I try to make new videos every week. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.